of
Wonderful.
principals there. Yeah.
Wonderful. Miss Joyce, welcome. I believe you're the MUN director of your school.
No, that's Miss Julie. That's another
Julie.
person. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. And Miss Jacqueline has also joined.
Yes.
On very, very warm welcome. Very, very warm welcome. And of course, very, very warm welcome to all the principals, advisors, and teachers, and everyone from the Amity group. Wonderful to see you all.
Good evening, ma'am. Namaskar.
Namaskar, ma'am. Namaskar.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Namaskar. We can continue with the movie on Amitasha. Kindly have some patience. Thank you so much, everyone. All the compares are ready. Sanjana and Madhav, ready?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Okay, we are just going to start. We are waiting for the ambassador to join in. अच्छा हाँ हाँ मैं करती हूँ बात। मिस्टर मोबिन,
ये एक जॉइंट आया तो है, इसमें मीटिंग आईडी कौन सी डालूं?
Yes, ma'am.
मोबिन ये मीटिंग आईडी आ रहा है एम्बेसडर की ईमेल पे, कौन सी मीटिंग आईडी डालनी चाहिए उनको?
And there is no meeting ID for this webinar.
Okay. It's a direct joining.
Yes, ma'am. You need to just click on the tab of join webinar, and you will be managed.
Okay. Mr. Mobin? Mr. Mobin?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I've sent you the contact of Miss Shikha. Can you please call her and help her for the
Yes,
ambassador to
yes,
log
ma'am.
in?
मैं फोन पे हूँ मैम
जी
के
जी
साथ.
जी आप बात कर लीजिए उनसे. Thank you so much. Thank you. There is some technical
Jyoti
issue.
ma'am, good afternoon, Jyoti ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, Meenu ma'am. Namaskar. Namaskar.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, just request your patience for another minute. There is some technical glitch.
Good
Uh,
afternoon,
we're
everyone.
helping
Good
them.
afternoon, Jyoti
Good
ma'am.
afternoon. Good
All
afternoon.
the best to everybody. All the best to the children. Good afternoon, Renu ma'am.
Good afternoon, Jyoti ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good
Ji. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Good afternoon, Jyoti.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ma'am. Okay, so in the meantime, in the meantime, I'm going to ask you a quiz on Cambodia. Let us
All
see
the
if you
best.
can answer these questions till Ambassador joins. Okay, which is, now raise your hand, okay, for the right answer. Which is the most famous temple, Hindu and Buddhist temple of Cambodia? Must see site in Cambodia. Let me see how many of you can answer this question. Yes. Advika.
Ma'am, the Angkor Wat temple.
Angkor Wat temple. So tell me, what is so special about the Angkor Wat temple? Very, very important feature. Why is it so famous? I can see Miss Borges smiling. Yes. Principal of Vasundhara, Sector 6, Sunila ma'am. Yes, Sunila ma'am.
Good evening, everybody.
Good
It was
evening.
when it was built, it was dedicated to Lord Vishnu.
Yes. And
Until date, the Ramayana ballet plays there, the Cambodian version of it.
yes. And Vasundhara 6 has played the Ramayana version at the Red Fort. And also during your annual day. Yes. Okay. So tell me, what is the architecture of the temple based on? A very, very important Hindu, what do you say, mountain. Which is that mountain which is based on the architecture of the temple? It's Mount Meru. Mount Meru, it has 5 peaks. It is supposed to be at the center of the universe. All right? Okay. Now, next question. Next question is, what is the time difference between Cambodia and India? What is the time difference between? Arisha Agarwal, Vasundhara 1.
Yes, ma'am. The time difference between India and Cambodia is 1.5 hours.
So it is ahead of India or behind?
Ahead.
Ahead, because it's in the eastern direction. Very good. Give a hand. Okay. Next question. Who will name the Prime Minister of Cambodia? The name of the Prime Minister of Cambodia. Aditya Gupta.
Ma'am, it's Hun Manit.
Mr. Hun Manit. Very good. Another hand. Very good. Okay. Next question. Can you tell us something about the cultural bonds between Cambodia and India? What is the main link between the two countries, the cultural link? Yes? Anyone? I can see one hand. Pranil Pranav. Yes, Pranil.
They both share a deep significance to the worship of Lord Buddha.
Lord Buddha. Buddhism, yes. It's Buddhism and Hinduism. It's a very, very strong link. Can I request Shalini ma'am to tell us something about the link between India and Cambodia till the ambassador joins in and we learn more about it?
I think there are many aspects. Having lived here 21 years, language is one of the link between Sanskrit and Khmer is very, very strong. And even the Cambodian script, the language script, Khmer script is very, very similar to that of the South Indian languages, Tamil, Malayalam, it's all in circles. And a lot of the Khmer words actually have their root with Sanskrit. For example, the word chat Chat is chata, umbrella. Yeah. Patshala in Hindi, Sala in Khmer. So there are a lot of words that, I mean, the root of Khmer language comes from Sanskrit because one of the queens of Angkor Wat was from India. So that's how the language also traveled. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Next question. What is the meaning of the word Angkor Wat? What is the meaning of the word? Okay, so I've just got a message. Ambassador has joined in. A very, very warm welcome to the Ambassador of India to Cambodia. Namaskar. Namaskar, ma'am. Are you able to join in, Excellency? Just wanted to confirm. Okay, I think.
Can't see.
Yes, yes. Can't see yet.
Jyoti ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's something the children are not able to join.
Okay.
I think if something can be helped us out with.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to request Sanyukta ma'am.
Yeah.
If you can send the link, ma'am. Mohan ma'am, I'll send the link to you.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
I'll just send the link to you, ma'am.
Done, done. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry for the interruption and
No
sorry.
problem, ma'am. No problem, ma'am.
Miss Jyoti, I do see her name in the panelists list, unless the name is there prior. I'm not sure.
Whose name, ma'am?
Her Excellency's name.
Okay, okay.
I do see it there in the panelist among the 43 panelists. So I'm not sure whether it's existing prior to her joining or she
Okay.
has already joined.
Well, I can't see the name.
It's below Deepak Sehgal, Devishi Suri, and then you have Devyani Khobragade.
Okay, I'll just check myself once again.
Yeah. So if, I don't know if it should only show if you have joined. Yeah, yeah, there she
Yes,
is.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Finally,
Excellency has joined,
Master
ma'am.
joined. Yes, yes. Just 1 second. I'm there. Sanyukta ma'am, can you send the link to Mohan ma'am, please?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yes.
I'm sending it.
So, Excellency, are you there?
Yes, we are here.
Oh, thank you so much.
yes,
Thank you
yes,
so
yes.
much. And I received a message from our chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan. Ma'am, she is busy in a meeting right now. She will join us later. So now we can start the program. Over to you, Amity Noida.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Children, you can start. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. With the blessings of our visionary chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, ma'am, I, Sanjana Chauhan,
And I, Madhav Ahuja,
feel privileged and honored to extend a warm welcome to everyone to this 7th edition of Talk with the Diplomat. At the onset, we would like to invite our dynamic Director Principal, Mrs. Renu Singh, ma'am, to welcome the August gathering.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Sanjana and Madhav. Thank you very much. A very warm namaskar to everyone. To our respected and visionary chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, Her Excellency Dr. Devyani Khobragade, principals, faculty, and students of CIA First International School of Cambodia, members of our Amity School family, and dear students. Welcome to this 7th edition of Talk with a Diplomat hosted by Amity International School, Noida, under the aegis of Amity Educational Resource Center. Thank you and very warm welcome to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, respected ma'am.
Sanjana.
Knowledge removes ignorance, just as light removes darkness. Let's begin this enlightening session with invoking the divine grace by lighting the virtual lamp and chanting the Gayatri Mantra.
भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Our visionary chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan ma'am, believes in Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam and is nurturing Amityans to become global citizens. Ma'am displays the unflinching resolve to take Amity schools to greater heights of excellence. With her dream to nurture young minds through education, woven with values and a passion to change the world, Chairperson ma'am has always been an inspiration for countless Amityans. The Amity Education Resource Center, AERC, established by her in 2004, is the gateway for Amityans to connect, understand, and interact with the world. We feel honored to welcome you, ma'am, with the virtual Tulsi sapling.
We are honored to have amongst us today the Indian Ambassador to Cambodia, Her Excellency Dr. Divyani Khobragade.
Excellency, your position is a testament to your remarkable abilities, dedication, and expertise in fostering international relations. Your wealth of experience and knowledge in diplomacy will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in guiding and enlightening all of us. I humbly request our Honorable Chairperson, ma'am, to kindly welcome Her Excellency by presenting the sacred virtual Tulsi plant.
Thank you, ma'am. In its journey spanning 2 decades, AERC has nurtured more than 5,000 Amityans and 1,000 international students through its diverse projects such as AIMUN, MUN training camps, nurturing leadership program, school cultural exchanges, workshops on leadership, entrepreneurship, etc. across 35 countries to become the rightful leaders of tomorrow.
A recent edition of the Talk with Diplomats program in 2021 provides opportunity to Amityans to participate in interactive question answer sessions with diplomats. We are grateful to our respected chairperson, ma'am, for providing with some amazing platforms to us to groom us to become global citizens.
AERC is headed by respected Jyoti Arora ma'am. We welcome you, ma'am, with the virtual Tulsi sapling. Now, I humbly invite Mrs. Jyoti Arora ma'am, Director of AERC, to kindly introduce our eminent chief guest of the day.
Thank you so much, Sanjana. It's really my honor and pleasure to welcome multi-talented, multilingual, athletic, yoga practitioner, writer, Excellency Dr. Divyani Khobragade. Dr. Khobragade earlier worked as a medical doctor and then joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1999. During her diplomatic career, she has served in Berlin, Islamabad, Rome, and New York. She speaks English, Marathi, Hindi, German, and is currently learning Mandarin and Spanish. At headquarters, she has served in several divisions: PAI, which is Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran, Central Europe, Finance, CPV, which is Consular Passport Visa, and States. Before taking up her assignment as Ambassador of India to Cambodia, she was heading the capacity building and cultural heritage projects of the Ministry of External Affairs as Joint Secretary. Dr. Khobragade has published a collection of short stories as well as popular children's book, The Adventures of Young Ambedkar. A certified yoga instructor and a distant runner, she also has deep interest in Vipassana meditation and Buddhism. Dr. Khobragade is married to Dr. Akash Singh Rathore, a professor of legal and political philosophy, and they have 2 daughters, Amaya and Shaira.
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite the esteemed Indian Ambassador to Cambodia, Her Excellency Dr. Divyani Khobragade, to inspire the students with thoughtful reflections as they embark on the path towards a brighter tomorrow.
Good evening, Namaskar. Am I audible?
Yes, Excellency.
Dr. Anita Chauhan, Ms. Arora, Mrs. Renu Singh, all the other organizers, pardon me if I have missed out on any names, and most of all, my dear students. It is indeed a pleasure for me to interact with all the dear students at the Amity Resource Center and the Amity School from Noida. And I'm indeed very delighted to interact with especially young students, and most of them being girls. It's always a pleasure and honor to talk to young minds who are the future of India and who represent the future of humanity, considering that India is the largest democracy of the world. All of you should be proud that you are representing almost 1/3 of the humanity. And this is what has inspired me to join the Foreign Service, to be able to represent a country like India with such a deep civilizational and civilizational history and a very vibrant heritage and culture, but also a young nation, a young economy, and a dynamic population with you youngsters as one of the major component of our society and our polity and economy. So I would like this session to be more interactive so that I can hear more about your future aspirations, your ideas about your role as the future generation of our nation and the future leaders. And I would be happy to take questions rather than to speak I can't, especially because I cannot even see many of you. I would be very happy if my tech team can organize the window that shows me all the students. But nevertheless, I would invite all of you to have a free and frank discussion. And I think we could take our conversation more in the question and answer format. But before I invite all of you to begin the question and answers, I would I would like to leave a few thoughts for all of you to ponder upon. Since you are beginning your journey as young professionals, young career, young minds that will choose your career paths, I would suggest that you do not be constrained by what are the aspirations of your parents for you or the aspirations of your peers around you, but you go by what you feel you can contribute best to your country, to the society that you operate in, and what would make you happiest in giving your contributions to the country, to the people around you. So during my time when I was growing up and I was studying, all the bright girls were destined to become
Mummy,
doctors.
आपके bathroom में भी नल का खुला है. Please mute yourself, all of you.
I think somebody is talking in the background. Can we please mute all the other mics?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. So we were all told that all the girls should become doctors and all the boys should become engineers, but that's not what I wanted to do. And although I was too young to understand what I wanted when I joined medicine, And I also felt that I was, constrained by what my parents wanted me to do, what was expected of me from my peers. I finally, after studying medicine, I decided to follow what and do what I wanted to do. And therefore, I started studying sociology and psychology. These are the subjects that interested me because I felt that I wanted to understand the world I lived in and the society that I lived in, and also understand the minds of human beings and how they work individually and in society. And then I took these two subjects and I took the foreign service. And that time I was also asked and told by my peers and colleagues that that's not what women do. How can you take foreign service? Because you would be very it would be very difficult for you to get married, to raise a family. So I did not listen to any of these. I did not pay attention to any of these constraints because I was quite clear that I wanted to pursue something that interested me and something where a job where I thought I would be able to follow my dreams, to be able to live a life that I found interesting and challenging too. Not that it was not challenging, but we should be ready to take the good with the bad. And therefore, I would tell you, I would urge you to follow what your heart tells you to do, where you think you can contribute the best. And do not be constrained by what your parents want or what you think is the best job, because it's not all about money and it's not all about social status. It's about where your capabilities lie and what you think you can do best. I felt I could deal with people, I could, understand different cultures and operate in different cultures very well. And I was just curious to learn about the world and learn about different cultures. And that has served me well. So do not be constrained by expectations. Just follow what you feel your potentials are and where you can give the best to everybody. And that would be what should make you happy and where you can contribute the most. And the second thing I would like to leave with you is that you are, you're part of a nation that is a very proud civilization and a very ancient civilization which has given a lot to the world. And therefore you should have that pride in you, and you should have a global aspiration. You should think about how India and how you as Indians can just not contribute to your own country, but what mark you can make internationally, and have because you belong to a country that was always global in its perspective. Our philosophies, our outlook, our outreach has always been global. The country that I serve in now, Cambodia, is one of the countries where you can see the Indian influence very directly. And this starts not in this common era, but even before the common era, even before 1st century CE. So think globally. The world is your oyster now. Because India is an open, global player. We have global vision. So you all are not just Indians, but you're global citizens. So always have that perspective in you when you are looking at what you want to do ahead. So those are the two thoughts that I would like to leave with you. And then I would now like to hear more of your thoughts and your questions. And I'll be happy to take more of those questions. We have about half an hour to have a conversation. Thank you for your attention. And once again, it's a delight to be with all of you. Namaskar, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ambassador. In fact, our chairperson also is a Sanskrit scholar. She always says that we should believe in Vasudev Kutumbaka. The whole world is one family. And these are the same thoughts which you have also shared with us. And now we start the question answer round as you desire. So let's start with Amitasha. Excellency, Amitasha is a very, very special school, Amity School for the less privileged girl students. And I invite Shriti Pandey to ask from Amitasha to ask the first question. Over to you, Shriti.
Good evening, Excellency. My question to you is, what initiatives can students undertake to deepen the world, Cambodia and India, historical bonds between India and Cambodia, thereby propelling this relationship to unprecedented levels of strength and cooperation? Thank you.
You want to, some more people, some more students would like to ask questions?
Yes, in fact, there are 23 students who want to ask questions. Do you want to listen to the questions first, Ambassador?
Yeah, perhaps we could take 2 or 3 of them together, the ones which are similar, and then we can go ahead. And could you also please repeat, Amit, this young lady's questions again? Amitasha's questions again?
Yeah.
Good evening, Excellency. Good
Yes,
evening, Excellency.
Yes, repeat your question, Peter.
My question to you is, what initiatives can students undertake to deepen the historical bonds between India and Cambodia, thereby propelling this relationship to unprecedented levels of strength and cooperation? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Then now I would like to invite Kanak Verma of Amity International School, Gurgaon 46. Kanak, please ask your question.
Good afternoon, Excellency. Your interest in yoga, meditation, and Buddhism is evident. How do you integrate these practices into your diplomatic work, particularly in promoting holistic well-being and fostering a culture of peace and understanding?
Next, I would like to invite Jayashree Ganesh from Amity International School, Navi Mumbai. Jayashree, please ask your question.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, Excellency. Even the UN recognizes the lack of women in leadership roles. What do you think is the main hurdle for this?
Okay. Shall I start?
Yes, Excellency, please.
Okay. Well, thank you, dear students, for those very intelligent and insightful questions. I would like to start with the last one about women in leadership roles. It's quite obvious that there is a lack of women leaders and women role models. And the reasons for those are multifold. There are structural problems in how our societies have been structured for so long that have not encouraged women in positions of power and leadership. And this is not just an issue that pertains to traditional societies like India and in Asia, but of course this is a global issue. And we have the generations of many of our of generations of human societies have tackled this problem. And not that it was always like this, but we've had matrilineal societies. We've had, initially before we became an agricultural society, there was an equal distribution of the means of occupation for both women and men. And when we were hunter-gatherers, then both women and men had equal roles. But as we became agricultural societies and then industrial societies, the men started becoming more and more dominant in controlling all the means of producing food and economic output and so on. And the importance of women and their role in the society was less recognized. But as a generation, as we go into the modern era of post-industrial world, we see that there is a recognition that when a woman is empowered in a family, she empowers not just herself, but she empowers the entire family, her children, second generation, and an economy where women have equal participation, then that economy does much better and is, overall giving women their role, their equal share in society and in various institutions of the society, whether they are economic institutions or social institutions, leads to betterment of the entire nation, betterment of the entire society. However, there are, of course, entrenched interests. There are many steps that need to be taken at societal level, at political level, at the level of governance and policy making, which can address these issues of bringing forth women to the forefront in our society and our economies. And therefore, the task is a huge task, and it needs to be addressed at every level. And the biggest driver to women's equality and women's leadership role is their education. Education and economic independence that accrues, that comes after education. And of course, also the child rearing, practices and the values that we inculcate in families. These are, so you need, these are the three drivers of, I would say, women's, which will lead to women's development, which will lead to women's leadership roles. And it is incumbent, it is a responsibility of all the women, and including all of you, to raise yourself out of these stereotypical, notions, and to acquire education, come what may, and pursue what you want to do, pursue your dreams. Because when you do that, and when you have that understanding that you have navigated a very difficult terrain to reach where you have, you want to give back to, you want to be a role model. And why am I here today after working hours? It's 6 o'clock. I could be home with my daughters. But then it is my role and my responsibility as a woman in a leadership position to inspire all of you youngsters, to talk to all of you and to be a role model, and to make you understand that you have to do that and you will carry that forward to that role that I'm doing today. So having that understanding and demanding what you want to, what you want to pursue, what you want to do, and to get education and to be economically independent is where you all will break this mold of not having enough women in leadership position. The other question about yoga, yes, I'm very passionate about yoga. I'm also a certified trainer. I feel that yoga is a gift of India to the humanity and to the entire human race, because we have nurtured and developed this philosophy and this way of life that that has been recognized as uh, you know, the intangible heritage of the entire world. And while it provides me with a lot of physical and mental stability and physical and mental vigor, it also is is a tool for connecting with the rest of the world, because we, as you know, India has initiated and brought forward the International Day of Yoga at the UN. And this has been a major diplomatic success for us. We, as Government of India and as the Ministry of External Affairs, we try very hard to promote the values of yoga in all the countries across the world. And this is part of our diplomatic role as ambassadors, as embassies, to promote yoga and promote the message of yoga, that it's for the benefit of the entire humanity. It develops inner peace and harmony, which is beneficial for world peace and for taking forward values in the world that are essential for peace and development. We do that through celebration of International Yoga Days. We also encourage yoga teachers and yoga institutions in the countries which we are posted in to encourage them to go to India, to all the yoga institutions, to get yoga certification from India, and to support other governments in making their yoga certification policies, their developing their alternative medicine institutions, and through memorandums of understanding with the different institutions which look after traditional medicines in these particular countries where we are posted. So there are many ways in which we promote yoga, and how it becomes an international a tool for international diplomacy and a tool for soft power for India, because this gives us a lot of it attracts people to India. It makes India look attractive, and that gives India a lot of soft power. Initiatives that all of you can take, these are the initiatives that you're taking, where you are connecting with schools in Cambodia and schools in everywhere else. You're connecting with your peers and your counterparts. You could undertake a lot of international tours, and where you can participate in youth festivals. You can, you can start with these days with social media at your fingertips, and you being better than at social media than all of us. You can even start small social media groups where you can promote understanding of each other's cultures. In fact, the sky is limitless for all of you. You can work with the government and you can work amongst yourself. But since we have only 15 to 20 minutes and there are so many more questions, I think I need to limit my answers. So perhaps you can give me more questions and I can answer them fast.
Sure. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Very, very well. Each and every word you spoke, Excellency, it really rings a bell. It's absolutely important. Absolutely. So now to the questions. We have student, one sec, Suhani Chauhan. Suhani, Excellency, is class 12 student. She has recently, at the Republic Day, won the prestigious Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar, the highest award for innovation in science for her project. So I would request Suhani to ask your question. Over to you, Suhani.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, Excellency. My question is that would you suggest that gaining experience in a different, seemingly unrelated field before pursuing a career in IFS could benefit prospective students?
Thank you, Suhani. Any other questions?
Yes, Aryavardhan. Aryavardhan is in class 8. He's an excellent debater and he's part of the student council. Aryavardhan, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, Excellency.
As the Indian ambassador to Cambodia, how have you helped the diverse Indian diaspora within the nation?
How would I what? Could you repeat that?
Ma'am, how, Excellency, how have you helped the Indian diverse diaspora?
How,
The spread of
how could
people
I help
from
the
their
diaspora?
homeland. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And there are some questions regarding your books and you as an author, So Arisha from Amity International School, Vasundhara 1, over to you. Arisha is class 10 student. She's a gifted orator and an actor and has received many gold medals in debates and drama. Over to you, Arisha.
Greetings, Excellency, and everyone present here. So my question to you is, ma'am, as an accomplished author, what inspired you to write a collection of short stories and a children's book? And how do you see storytelling as a tool for cultural understanding and education for children?
Any more questions?
Yeah, there are more questions. Slightly different. Deveshi Suri is from Mohali, Punjab. Amity, Mohali, Punjab. Deveshi, you can ask your question, please.
Good evening, Excellency. As a student who is in the process of building herself, it would be of a great interest to me to know what are the skills you possess that helped you at the initial stages of your career.
And Shreya Chaprekar. She's from Amity International School, Gurgaon, Sector 43. Shreya, your question, please.
Greetings, Excellency. Our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, sir, gave us a success mantra, Bhag. Just a second. Ma'am. He gave us a success mantra, Bhag, where B stands for behavior, H stands for hard work, A stands for ambition, A stands for attitude, and G stands for God. What would you say is your success mantra?
Samara Chauhan from Amity International School, Pushvihar.
Good evening, Excellency. I understand the difficulties and the obstacles that come with pursuing a career as a doctor. What event or thought led you to choose to serve with the Indian Foreign Service?
Okay. So let me start with your question on the Indian Foreign Service and difficulties and challenges as a doctor. So have I understood your question correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So challenges of being a doctor, of course, are, it is a very demanding career. You have to study so intensively that you really cannot concentrate when you're studying, when you are about, becoming a doctor. The intensive studies that you have to undertake really don't give you any opportunity to look outside and to develop, a comprehensive understanding of the environment that you live in. That was my experience, but that may be different now, because now things have changed. I studied medicine almost 30 years back. However, I can imagine that even with all the technological developments and so on, it would still be very difficult to have other interests, to pursue your hobbies, to learn other skills other than medicine. You really have to dedicate your life to it. But of course, it can be very rewarding. And apart from that, I would also think that, it is again a career which is not the typical career for a woman as society would say. Not that I am saying that at all, because I have chosen two careers which were very demanding, which demand your time intensively, being a doctor, being a diplomat. However, doing the emergency rounds, staying on campus and staying in the hospital as a houseman, it's not easy. but it's very challenging. It's very, very rewarding. What made me change to foreign service? I have already told you earlier that I wanted to, study history, arts. I wanted to understand my society. I wanted to understand how individuals work in a society. And I felt that I wanted to understand different cultures and learn different languages. I was very good at learning languages. And therefore, I decided that this is the career for me. I want to join the foreign service. And at the same time, those were my individual reasons, and the reasons were, I thought that my capabilities and my interests can translate into what I can do for my country. I can represent my country well. I can contribute to a larger picture. I wanted to work on a broader canvas. So IFS afforded me that opportunity to work on the policy level, to work towards making policies that would affect, or helping in making policies that would affect a large number of people. But of course, both the careers that I chose were giving back to the society, giving back to the people. So that was always at the back of my mind. Now, success mantra, again, I would say is you pursue what you believe in, what you like, despite any constraints or despite any naysayers around you. There'll be many people who want to discourage you from doing things which seem too challenging or too avant-garde, too radical, but do not be constrained by that, and do not go by what the society is demanding of you, or your peers and your friends are demanding of you. And ask for help. It is your right, because as girls and women especially, we're very constrained by the society, and therefore we must ask for help from our parents, from our colleagues. What I mean, ask for help is that it's your right. It's your right to say, I want to do this and I need support. So that is what I would, I feel would be your success mantra as young girls, to keep this at the back of your mind. Then you had asked me about skills at the initial stages of your career. You see, skills are to be developed, and all of us have some innate abilities. We are born with certain things. Somebody can do math better, somebody can communicate better, but what we really need at the initial stages of our career is we need more support. We need to feel more confident about ourselves, and that kind of confidence that I can project today, I did not have that when I joined the service, and I needed to work on it. And that is where I feel that is one skill, to believe, that is to believe in yourself, to have that confidence that no, today I don't do it well, but I have it in me to do it, and I will put my efforts into it. It's not going to come easily. And to have that confidence, to try to develop that confidence, is a skill that is really, that you need to work upon. And that is what you will need in the initial stages of any career that you join. And to be able to communicate, to be able to ask for support and feel that I will be able to do this, to have that confidence in you. So keep that at the back of your mind always. And that is what you need at the initial stages of your career. Then you had said, how does storytelling, and one of you had asked, a very creative person had asked, how does creative story foster cultural understanding, especially storytelling is what makes us human. When we were evolving, when we were going from our monkey chimpanzee cousins to becoming humans. What made us human was the ability to sit around a fire and talk to each other and tell each other stories. And what you will remember at the end of this talk is not the details. You would remember a story that I told you about why I switched to the foreign service, and what was my story of leaving medicine. Storytelling is the most important thing that human beings do, and therefore I feel that reaching out to a larger number of people, especially children, we need storytelling. And when I wrote my books, my daughters were at the back of my mind. I wanted them to understand the cultural milieu that I came from, my family came from, our family came from. I wanted them to understand the struggles of a certain section of the community that we all belong to, and the struggles of a very great social reformer, Dr. Ambedkar. And I didn't know how to, tell them this story, so I thought I should write. And I couldn't see any children's books, and therefore I thought I should write a story around that leader. And other stories are about, they are amalgamating my experience over the years of my travels and the experiences of different cultures that I could bring together in a short story in a very interesting format, so that I could reach out to people and share with them my journey and my learnings. So storytelling is certainly one of the most important things that we as human beings do. About diaspora and how Indian government and the embassy and ambassador can help the diaspora. Well, one of the major responsibilities of an ambassador is to look after the Indian community's interest in whichever country that we are posted in, and to contribute to their well-being and their progress in the country that we live in. But it is not just a one-way street. The diaspora is also a very important part of the work that Indian government does, and their contributions to showcasing our cultural heritage and our rich and diverse traditions is unparalleled. Whenever, like now, there is Holi is coming up, so the Indian community in Cambodia is throwing a Holi party, a Holi celebration, where they will invite me, and I will go, of course, and participate, and we support them in doing various cultural events, and anything that they need, we look after their interests. For example, during COVID, we evacuated many Indians who were stuck here, who had come here on travel, who had come here on tourism, but could not go back. So these are the things where these are the areas and aspects where we can help the Indian community, and the diaspora helps our country. The biggest help that they give us is the remittances that they send back. How much remittances, the money that they send back to India when they work abroad, especially the small workers, those who are doing small menial jobs in the Gulf, they send an immense amount of money back home, and they contribute to the economy. So they are, of course, the backbone of India abroad. Our champion Suhani's question about getting a different experience before you go into the foreign service. Suhani, knowledge is knowledge. Knowledge is always helpful. And it's not about, knowledge is not inherently about, let's take my example. What I studied in medicine may not have directly helped me in the foreign service until COVID came, and where we realized that we needed doctors in the foreign service to understand what we needed to do during the pandemic on the international front, what kind of medicines we would send to different countries, what are the rules and regulations, and so on and so forth. Apart from that, what medicine taught me was to work hard, to be grateful for having the health that I enjoy, because I have seen people suffer. What I learned was the joy of giving service to a person who comes to the emergency, and I give him a shot of medicine and his asthma is cured in 1 hour, and he says, "I'm so grateful to you, doctor." That joy of seeing, being able to provide succor, to provide help to somebody. Those are the things I have carried from medicine into my job today. And so when I see a person who has come to my embassy for help because his father has died in Cambodia and he wants to take the body back, or if somebody comes who needs an emergency passport or visa, that human touch that we need to give to our people in need is what I learned from medicine. So it is always useful to have uh, different kind of multifarious skills and multifarious knowledge, because it is always helpful. So never be constrained about, don't think that, oh my God, I studied this, now I have to continue here. No, there are no constraints on you like this. That's where I would like to end.
If you don't mind, Excellency, we have a partner school from Cambodia, CIA First International School. If you can answer their question, one question they have.
Sure, certainly.
Yelani, the principal.
Thank you,
she
Ms.
wants to ask.
Jyoti. Good evening, Your Excellency. I will ask the question on behalf of our student. Her name is Princess, and she's in grade 8, and she is at CIA First Sensok Branch Street 2004. Princess has asked this question: who is your greatest support in reaching your dreams and goals?
Okay, what a lovely question, and so nice to see you, Shalini.
Yeah, hi.
I was talking about the diaspora, and Shalini is one of our biggest supporters in the diaspora.
Thank you,
She's
ma'am. Thank
always
you.
there at forefront of every activity that we do. So thank you, Shalini, for taking this
ma'am.
initiative as well. Princess, my biggest supporters have been my father and my husband and my mother. And all of them, all three of them, have always told me, you have to do what you like to do. You have to, reach for the sky. And my father, when I started, he's a father. He always says he's a proud father of 2 daughters by choice, because he was told by everybody, oh, you should have more kids so you can have a son, but he never listened to them. He's like, no, I'm very happy with my 2 daughters, and I'm going to raise them as well as I would raise a son. And my mother always told me, look, she wanted me to be a doctor. And she could not, because she could not become a doctor. She got married and there were family constraints and so on. So for her, I became a doctor. And then when I left medicine and I was pursuing my career, when I was trying for the foreign service, she said, okay, you do what you want to do, but be economically independent and follow your dreams. They never asked me, oh, you have to get married and, you will not, where will you find a husband if you become foreign service officer? No. So, and then when I met my husband, he was very clear that he wanted, me to fly high, and that he didn't have these ideas, these notions that how will I follow my wife when she goes to different countries. And he was born and raised in the United States, raised by an Indian American mother, who raised him, like a feminist. So choosing a right partner, well, we are born with parents that we are born with, but you can choose a right partner that supports you in your journey, in your quest. And I made it very clear to my husband that, I will be traveling everywhere, and I expect you to come with me and support me. And he has never let me down on that. So these are my three biggest supporters, and you need to ensure, you need to find supporters. You need to demand support, as I said again and again. Um, even with your parents, even with your friends, you choose friends that will support you. You will support your dream. You choose a partner that will support your dream. So that is the last question that I can take. And
Excellency, there's just one word answer questions, rapid round. Just five words you have to say only. And promise this is the last one.
Sure.
And compare Sanjana and Madhav are going to ask. Quickly, Sanjana and Madhav, please ask the questions. Rapid fire.
Yes, ma'am. Excellency, the first question is, what's your favorite color?
the one I'm wearing, purple.
Oh, royal purple.
Yeah.
Excellency, what's your favorite food?
Ooh, Japanese.
Oh,
And sushi.
sushi person.
Yeah.
Excellency, what are you passionate about?
Oh, passionate about raising girls to be strong women.
Wonderful.
Excellency, if you had not become an IFS officer, what profession would you have chosen?
I don't know, something very, something, I really don't know, because I always wanted to be an IFS officer. But anything to do with people, anything where I would be able to reach out and, make a difference in the lives of people, inspire them, and to connect with them. Because I draw my energy from my team, I draw my energy from having people around me.
Great.
Excellency, how do you relax?
By meditation and by yoga.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Excellency. That was wonderful. I'm sad that a few students are left, and maybe next time.
Maybe next time, yes.
We can meet. We have the Amity International Model United Nations Conference coming up in October. And on behalf of our chairperson who could not make it today, she was very busy. She called me. It was a very important meeting she had to attend. But I'm sure this recording she will listen and she would really love it, because the thoughts which you have are quite the same which our chairperson has. So thank you so much for the wonderful tips you have given. Storytelling, Ramayana, Mahabharata, famous up till now, and your success mantra to seek out support is very, very important. Thank you so much. You've
Thank
been
you.
very inspiring, very motivating, and hope we can meet in person very soon. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And
Thank
especially
you to
thank you to
CIA
all the
International.
students. Yeah, and thank you, Shalini. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you, ma'am.
India.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Amity International School, Noida, Renu ma'am, and her wonderful team, Sanyukta and the team who have worked very hard. Thank you to all the schools, all the students who have prepared the questions and come again and again for the rehearsals. There's a lot of hard work behind the screens. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jyoti, for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be
Pleasure. It's an honor and a
associated with Amity. Thank you
I
so
hope
much.
we can now cement a friendship soon. We look forward to welcoming you for IMON and then
Yes.
coming to Cambodia.
Yes, yes. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak ji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Renu
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am. It was a real pleasure.
Yes, it was a real pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, feedback
Thank
loop
you,
has been
ma'am.
posted.
Very enriching session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Anshu.
very
Thank you,
nice.
Joyce. I hope you enjoyed, Joyce.
Jyoti, very well organized. Really, very
To
wonderful.
you, ma'am. Thanks to you and your team. Thank
But
you.
you are very methodical, very organized, and she has left children with beautiful thoughts. Both the
Very
thoughts.
beautiful books. Very, very beautiful.
Actually, we wanted to say thank you to her because we have now a direct flight from Cambodia to New Delhi, starting in June, thanks to Her Excellency. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're very
Thank you, Jyoti,
excited.
ma'am.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
session.
Thank you, Aarti ma'am. Thank you. And Ambassador Children, she played a very important role during COVID, because when she went to Cambodia as an ambassador, that was the COVID time. So as a doctor, she played a very important role, I think about 1 lakh vaccines were sent to Cambodia, and she managed everything there. So being a doctor played a very important role. And that's what she mentioned. So whatever you do, whatever knowledge you gain, in whatever field, it will always help you sometime or the other. It will never go waste. Yeah.
Wonderful session, Jyoti. Thank you
Thank
also.
you. And we are very, very grateful to our chairperson, ma'am, who started this program to inspire and motivate Amityans to nurture leadership and to make a mark, do something for their country and learn from these people, from these diplomats who are taking care of their country overseas. Thank you, Chairperson, ma'am. Thank you so much. We missed you so much today, Chairperson, ma'am. We missed you.
She
Thank
was
you.
in a meeting. She called me. She was in a meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you so much.
Feedback link has been
Bye,
posted in the chat box also. Thank you.
Oh, Sanjukta ma'am is saying the feedback form is there in the chat box.
Yes,
All of
ma'am.
you are requested to kindly fill in the feedback by clicking the link. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Sanjukta ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
Thanks all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And a very big thank you to Amity University for organizing the link. Thank you so much, Amity University. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ma'am, can I close the link now?
Yes, please, Mobin. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.